I think 150 is kind of possible on Intel. Internally, people are just at Intel, they're like, oh, our stock is probably close to $200 value, and they're not even selling their stock right now. So I was actually hoping for a 620 retest this week, but then I saw it this morning, and then after Trump, whatever he said during his New York rally, there's no words.
Can you look someone in the eye and say now's a good time to buy after being up 150, or do you think it's going to pull back?
Well, full disclosure, I'm getting out. This is money that I have never seen before being made on certain stocks.
But you said it's going to be the first $1 trillion pharma.
And it is, and I think it's going back to its all-time highs.
We're in this generational time. I mean, you get a few of these in your lifetime.
I think NVDA has a better GaN products that can be used in cars than ON-Semi. Even if ON-Semi has whatever products they have is being bought out, I think NVDA has bigger run, better run to go in the future. So robotaxi, definitely a lot of call flow that's been going on. I did see a lot of people talking about their infrastructure with respect to AI on the edge. So one stock that can probably move towards 20 this year is Nokia. Any drops towards like 14, 13s, I would probably buy Nokia.
We pop 'em like overridden vodka. C3, okay, a millionaire. I'm a young money millionaire.
Here we go. Yeah, Jody is over in Europe right now. So he gave me the keys to the car, and I've never driven before here in the backstage. So, we're doing what we can. How you feeling, man?
Oh, pretty good, pretty good.
You picked a good day to talk about Micron. Up almost 200 points or 150 points or something crazy.
God, yeah. I mean,
yeah, over 150 now.
They're actually early exercising my covered calls, and it's pretty insane.
Yeah. No, when Micron was down last week, I said to myself, next week's going to absolutely rip, just because that's been the trend for the past couple months now. And I did not think 150 point day, though. That is
I did not
unheard of.
I was actually hoping for a 620 retest this week, but then I saw it this morning, and then after Trump, whatever he said during his New York rally, there's no words.
Yeah, it's pretty insane, but I mean, we still have some room too. I just wrote up something. I wrote a bunch this weekend. I'm pushing all these tweets out today. Just craziness. But so it's gonna be. You still think it's got some room, or what does the chart look like after something like this? Can you look someone in the eye and say now's a good time to buy after being up 150, or do you think it's gonna pull back?
Full disclosure, I'm getting out.
Okay. All right, fair enough. I mean, it's been an insane run. I think you called it. I know Sam called it too. I mean, if you look at the chart, it's.
I know it can go all the way up to 1,100, but then that kind of rep in a very short time, because the time we added was about $350.
Yeah.
This was not long time ago. This was just like two and a half months back.
Yeah,
and
crazy.
It's the same thing with ARM, man. My ARM, I had 300 calls that I sold, and they just early exercised them. I was like, whoa, okay, whatever. We bought it at like $94 or something after its earnings, and then now it's like 300. And all of this happened in like 2.5, 3 months. And I mean, this is money that I have never seen before being made on certain stocks. I'm like,
you're at like a different house every time we talk, so you're doing something right. Different area. Wait, so I don't know if you have the charts ready, but I'd love to just so people can see how if you haven't been in the ARM or the MU trade and SanDisk, I mean, I'm starting to get 2020 vibes again. Like when we were doing Pound on the Table, I'm just like throwing a dart, and it's like, oh, you're a genius. Oh, you're a genius. Oh, you're a genius. But like eventually, this liquidity. June 12th, I think, is the IPO of SpaceX, for example. We got a few others coming, Anthropic and OpenAI. So, where's all this money coming from? But there's still like trillions on the sideline in money market accounts. So that's what I heard too. So
honestly, Avi, I'll be honest, right? So I talk to quite a few people. I go out with dinners with some of these investment bankers and things like that. And during the Iran war, when we had the dip, they had apparently they had a internal meeting, and then most of these analysts were telling them not to buy into any of these indices, not to buy into any of these stocks because they have dropped more than a threshold that they can handle risk. And the only thing that they were bullish on was oil. I mean, let me not say bullish, but the only thing the instrument they can trade was oil. And think about it, missing out on all of that money that could have been made buying
Yeah.
the bottom on MU, SNDK, you name it. Like, I've never ridden SNDK honestly, so I'm not gonna say, oh, you know what, I got SNDK. MU, man, amazing.
Yeah, funny enough, I mean, and probably because I listen to you quite a bit too. So I got it. I think I had one option with SNDK, but I've been riding MU. I mean, like every week I've been in and out of that thing, and it's just been absolutely insane. Like, life-changing money. I know that a lot of my friends have ridden it too. I had like a blueprint I sent to my fantasy football chat, I think probably 3 or 4 months ago. MU was on there, Sandisk was on there. I was like, these are the plays you got to just look at. And I keep replying to it. I'm like, hey guys, you guys in yet? Because it's just been like an insane run here. Pull up if you can with the MU chart, just so we can see like how insane it's been. And if it pulls back quite a bit before it goes to 1200, I just saw who did the 1600 price target. I think I just saw too, which is great. So, I mean, we're in this generational time. I mean, you get a few of these in your lifetime. I said that in 2020, and here we are only a few years later, and it's happening again. But I was just listening to, I think it was the Ice Coffee podcast with Chris Camillo. You got to listen to that if you haven't. I give them credit. It was fascinating. He was talking about the next pull here is going into Amazon, because it's going to be the downstream companies that are going to benefit from all of this AI. Despite their capex, they're going to have so much savings downwind from this that he's got like $8 to $10 million on Amazon calls right now. So
I would 100% agree with that, because of, I think we talked about this on our podcast too, right? Now we talked about how robots are going to be a big part of Amazon's business, right? And unlike most of the warehousing, logistics, and things like that they have to maintain people and things like that. Now you have robots which are going to take over the job 24/7, and you have a lot of capex that has gone into Amazon for the last 4 to 5 years, now seeing that as revenue margin, right? So I am a strong believer in Amazon, and even Amazon, and also Meta. Meta is another one that I'm looking at. Dude, I think Meta right now is such a cheap stock to own, honestly, because of I think the PEG or something is about 18 on Meta. So that's one stock I would probably start accumulating, and the
it's
next
down year to date. It feels like it's crazy. The past year it's down 5%.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's a good one. Another one. Yeah, I mean, I think you see cycles, right? The money flows in and out, and he did say two things that that were like pretty simple in theory, and I never clicked to me. But he was like, I don't want to be at a consensus stock that everyone loves, right now. He's like, I want to be in a stock that I think I have an edge on, that no one else does. Think, they still think it's not the right stock to go into, because that's where you're getting, you're getting that upside there. He said something else too that was really powerful to me. I'll have to bring it back up as my brain comes back. But yeah, look at that liftoff, man. That is unlike anything I've really seen since Nvidia. Just kept flying.
This is exactly where we bought it. I mean, I didn't buy it at 320, but I bought it at 350. But look at that. In a matter of one month, 4 weeks, 1.5 months. Look at that.
Yeah. I bought 70 shares here to go along. So anytime this week I missed out on the MUs. Dude, the 900s I think were $6 last week at one point, and now they're 36. Today. So.
We bought it at $10, and then I sold it this morning. I just repent selling it, but anyway.
yeah. It's hindsight capital, right? That's where they get you. So what is the what is the chart? I mean, this break charts like at this point? What do you see
Yeah,
here?
like I technically would want a pullback on MU, like something like this, like when it rips up like this and has so much strength. Obviously, I like selling into strength. That's essentially what my trading has been successful at, and and that's why I kind of sold them. It's
Hmm.
okay. I'm ready to miss out the next 10-15%
Yeah.
because when you think about it on a long term basis, right? When you're making 170% gain, and then you're letting go of 10-15%, it's okay. 20 25
Right.
percent, it's okay. And strong stocks like these, generally they pull back to the 9 EMA, which is sitting at around 760, 750 right now. If we do see that pullback, that's where you would probably want to play your options again. And then if and like with options, you can let them go to zero or based on your sizing, or you can have a strict stop loss with a loss of 750. But when it absolutely touches this 690, 700 zone, I think it's a huge buy opportunity again on MU with a price target at 1,100. I think this stock has more runway to go, but then I'm waiting for a pullback to get back in.
You
There is
wouldn't grab
no chance.
on
Yeah,
something like this?
nope, I
Yeah.
never do. Because when it falls off, Avi, the best way to play a stock like this is to sell cash secured puts or wait for that 20 EMA. If you have a small account, you cannot afford cash secured puts. You would probably wait for that 20 EMA test, and that's where you get a very good value for your money again. It's all about
Yeah.
patience, right? Profitable. Like I keep saying this, profitable traders leave money on the table. Doesn't matter how much you leave or whatever, as long as you're ahead of the game and you are in it, you're good.
Yeah. No, I always feel that whenever I sell and I'm up big, I'm like, I take a deep breath. I'm like, all right, I made it.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
made it out clear. I didn't go to lunch and then Trump tweets something crazy and the markets turn and you get screwed out. So the other one you wanted to touch on was Intel, INCC.
Yeah,
So,
Intel, this one's definitely flagging, looking pretty good. Also on the daily chart, I think this one has a lot of call flow every freaking dip. Like this is something that I just talked about MU2. Look at that dip, right? Like look at that momentum that the stock had, went all the way, dipped, right? Look exactly where it came up to, the 20 EMA. That's your buy point, right? And now look at where it is. It reclaimed 9, still trying to rip up higher. Let's draw some trend lines and see that too. This is a good chart where you had the breakout, and then now we are basing about the 9. This stock has a lot of call flow. Every dip I see, there's a lot of call flow. I saw 150 call flow for January, September, October. There were 115, 125, 135. Like all across the board, they have been buying calls on those dips on Intel. So I think 150 is kind of possible on Intel. I do want to joke here. I was at a dinner with Intel is pretty big in Chandler. They have 2 big campuses here, and I've gone to a dinner with some of my Intel friends, and about 8 or 9 months back, they were like, if you wanted to buy an investment property, they were like, hey, do you want to put in some payment down for us? We both can buy a house together or something, investment property together or something like that. Now they're literally like, hey Katie, I just want to buy out this community right now. There are about 20 houses, 30 houses. I just want to buy I'm like, dude, what the hell?
They're loving that Trump tweet, right? I mean, like, it is crazy though. Like Jensen, everyone's talking about like ServiceNow, and the fact that Trump's like the first president, I think, and at least in my memory, to like be buying stocks and like publicly talking about them.
Yeah.
Jump in. Don't
jump in when he says it.
Take your TDS somewhere else unless you want to make some money. There's people out there that would be like, Trump says it, so I'm going to go opposite, and they're going to get burned.
I mean, it's their loss. I mean, do we know better than we do? I mean, the information flows top to bottom, not bottom to top. So you know what I mean.
It's pretty wild. So Intel, you're seeing the flag right now. What are you thinking? Are you playing this
flagging right now? it is flagging right now. I think it will see all-time highs pretty soon if we don't see a pullback on SMH soon. I did see like a huge put flow based off a bearish divergence that was forming on Friday on SMH. So I'm a little skeptical into getting into anything at all right now. But I see that Intel can see 150 plus this year, and also probably by like September October timeframe. If we do see a pullback, I would definitely want to pick it up if it does hit that 107 105 kind of area again. Like internally, like this is just public information, or people talking about it internally. People are just at Intel, they're like, oh, our stock is probably close to $200 value, and they're not even selling their stock right now. So that's something that people have been talking about.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's that is a good sign. And you never know though. I remember I used to have a big client that was public, and I didn't, obviously I was way too close to it. I was like, I'm not going to touch this. I have a podcast. I'm not going to like be out there telling people to go buy this, but I just left it in my memory. And they had missed, it was a big public beauty company, and they missed their entire website went down on like Valentine's Day. It was like one of their biggest, earnings days. And I was like, okay, their earnings are going to get crushed. And of course they popped like 20%. So I was like, even if you do know stuff, sometimes it's still, it doesn't matter. The market, you don't know. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just saying, right? Like this is just not public information or anything. They're like, these are like normal workers who are engineers there. And
right.
They are like, oh, you know what? When your stock goes up, you just talk about it and things like that. And they are like, be optimistic that Intel can go to 200 this year. So
it's got to be fun. NVTS was one that you had talked about. So Navitas, I think is how you pronounce it.
Navitas, yeah. This one was our June swing trade. We picked it up on 518. And this was the exact setup that I was talking about, how Intel had on its weekly time frame. For example, when you look at Intel on its weekly time frame, how we caught this move was you see this one, right? Like you see, let me pull this up. You see this one here. You had that, and then I'll show you the exact same chart that we caught the same rip on NVTS, right? Like look at that, right? So that and that's the cup and handle play that we were looking at, and then it absolutely ripped. This was exactly what happened with NVTS, but this was on a daily time frame, so we are looking at shorter dated or just a month out or something like that. And this is the exact same pattern we caught on NVTS, and it absolutely ripped as well. Something that I'm seeing with respect to onsemi and NVTS, I think NVTS has a better GaN products that can be used in cars than onsemi. Even if onsemi has whatever products they have is being bought out, I think NVTS has better run to go in the future. So robo taxis and all of these, it's going to absolutely be fun for NVTS is how I see it.
Yeah, I remember those June, and I think I got that first run up. I think I made like 125%. I got out, and now those things must be 400, 500% probably up at least.
Yeah, they are at around $13, $14 this morning. Yeah.
And we got in at, what was that? I'm trying to remember what I paid for those.
We bought it at around $2.35.
Not bad.
Yeah.
That's insane. I mean, yeah, this is where I felt happy putting some more money back into Amazon, because I think there's upside there too, but also it just feels like we're running so hot. And even though I agree, I mean, this is a once in a generation type of thing. AI is going to transform our lives like dramatically, right? And so this is what we're seeing right now in real time. But even if there is, a crash, if Amazon goes down 50%, like we got bigger worries in the world, right? So, what are we seeing here?
Here, I think it's just a bull flag. I did give this out as a trade idea for the week as well. It was up about 2 or 3 points when I talked about it last night. That's where I was also saying just wait for the pullback on this. to the right now we are at the 20 EMA, which is a good sign. This is if 262 kind of breaks, that's a stop loss for the weekly options. But then I see that once that 270 kind of breaks, it has a quick ramp up towards that all-time highs at 278. I think Amazon, in my opinion, is a $400 stock. So
I was looking at leaps. Obviously they're expensive, but not that crazy. When you say it's a $400 stock, because that's something that I think as a retail investor, you love hearing that. But does that mean 6 months out, a year out? Like, where do you? I'm not going to hold you to this, but like general time frame, what do you think?
I've been talking about Amazon being a $300 stock when it was $100 back in 2022, 2023. So it did take 3 years. So if it's going to be a $400 stock, I'll probably give a time frame about 2 years.
Yeah. But the thing about Amazon, I like, you're not going to get a 25% drop day. Some of these other companies, you always fear, like even my baby, Nebius, right? Like I'm always nervous for that, like 12% down day. I see like 3 running days in a row, and it's became such a big part of my portfolio now. It swings. So I did trim for the first time ever, a little bit of NBIS to send into Amazon, but show me that I fucked up. Tell me that it's about to run.
No, I think you did a good job. But also NBIS, I did see those 300 calls being picked up for September, October timeframe. So that's where it can go to maybe.
It's still one of my biggest positions.
Honestly, Avi, NBIS, I was very skeptical of NBIS even after you told me about it. I think you told me about it at around 85. Then it's now at like 210. It went up to 230. But
I never know what I'm talking about, but I somehow hit like Dell was a banger too. It's the Avi indicator. I always say I just like pick things up. I don't know what, but I'll find it. I don't know how to chart, but that's why I got you.
You told me about Dell somewhere around here, 135, 145, and look at it where it is. But
well, it was funny. I was talking to my friends, and they're like, no, it's all in the cloud. Like, I was like, no, I think like people are going to be worried about security here, and they're going to go back to on-prem. And I did a whole write-up with like AI is amazing now. Like, I'll put my thoughts in. I'm like, tell me where I'm wrong. I'm like, even go further. Like, what else am I missing? And it's just like, you have a research buddy with you at all times now. It's incredible.
Yeah, that's true. And one of the other indications is SMCI is breaking out too. So on the weekly time frame. So so when something like this, as shady as SMCI is breaking out, the real demand of AI. So
yeah, SMCI was always one that I had heard about a while back. The other one I saw is App was one that we were talking about with Pounding the Table days. And that was at like $20-$30 we were talking about it. And then I didn't pay attention for years, and it's been flying. I mean, it flew to 700. I didn't realize that. And then came back down.
Yeah. I mean, App, I bought it at like $90 or something, and I sold it at like 200. And there was no stopping back after I saw 200. Like, after I sold it, it absolutely ripped to like 600 plus in a matter of a month or so. And I was like, I was so bummed by it. But anyway.
That's my story with Palantir and Nvidia. I was, as soon as I sold it, it just went on a crazy rampage. And I was like, all right, I gotta wait.
Yeah. I think this is another one, Light. This is another one that's getting ready to move back to 1,000 plus. So.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they got. I mean, there are certain like trends with stocks. You see them just do the exact same thing over and over.
Yeah, like this is the flags, then breaks out, and breakout is like 1 or 2 days. You see like a 5-10% move, and then it's like sitting at around 1,022 or so. 1,000 calls this week. 1,000 calls look really good on this one as well. To play to the upside. So we'll see.
I'm gonna check those out. All right, we got Eli Lilly and Goldman Sachs with the other two that we wanted to touch on. So Lilly's
LLY.
Yeah, that thing's like, you just feel like, I don't know if you looked at and I can never say the full word, RETA, I call it retrititude. The results on this thing are insane, right? Where it's I actually just talked to Jonah Lupton. So he's like a user. I have a bunch of friends that absolutely love it and have lost a ton of weight. But to me, that's cool. But like the cooler part is that 1 in 3 people have fatty liver, and it took away like 85% of the fatty liver. So that could be like absolutely, yeah, it was insane. You got to look at these results. It's like fascinating. Now there are some side effects, like people have been getting like throwing up and some stomachs. Like it's still too early for me to take them, in my opinion. But you know, those results are pretty crazy. Where you think about pharma, you know, the insurance companies, how much money they have to pay for everything, and if that can like make people way healthier, I think Lilly's, you know, you did call this too. You said it's gonna be the first $1 trillion pharma.
Oh yeah. And it is, and I think it's going back to its all-time highs. The story on this is definitely on the weekly time frame. Nice clean breakout. We did. This was the trade area of the week last week also. We saw that rip off, and then it absolutely ravaged. And today also 1085. We need that break of 1085, then goes all the way to 1100. I think it's a $1,300 stock here, brewing on LLY.
Yeah, I mean that's another. Not obviously very different than Amazon, but it's a tank, right? It's not going to drop 20% in a day. So you feel like, when I go to safety, I always feel like good going into something like this. What was the last one I said? Oh, Goldman Sachs. Goldman Sachs, you were told me 1,000, and then you had the 1100s, I believe. And I sold the thousands. They were up like 80, 90%. And then
amazing
the 1100s running. And those are doing well too. So
yeah, I think this was on the last podcast we were on. Goldman Sachs was setting up again, same thing on the weekly time frame. It was looking pretty good, and then it actually hit our first target at 1015. I think 1100 or something can be brewing here, but then I definitely need a pullback or a reset towards that 980 to play it again with calls to the upside.
What I mean, everything, you know, these are the good days to chat. The market came down a little bit, I know, from the morning time, but anything else you're looking at right now that's interesting? I'm just trying to think of other ones. I'm
actually very, very interested in Oracle. I know it's not moving yet, but then this freaking thing is such a beast in like, you know, the way it's consolidating and moving. I think it's kind of one of those that can quickly move towards that 260, 275 area. I'm just keeping this one on watch right now.
Yeah, Oracle. I actually have one running right now too, and it's one of those that you're talking about. I'm like, any day now. But
any day now. Yeah.
I'm like, all right, wake up, Oracle, wake up. But yeah, I mean, from its all-time high here, we still have a ways to go to catch up. So could get interesting. Go to ServiceNow, because that was one that we were touching on. That not only Trump said it. Jensen mentioned to buy it too, which is, it's so funny to watching these guys do it. And then I heard this Elon Musk interview. I think it was yesterday or the day before, but he was just like, the world's going to be drastically different here in the next 2 years. And like when these billionaires talk about it, you know, they're in some private room, you know, masterminding like how all the peons play over the next decade. And you got to pay attention when they're talking.
Exactly. I think this is a good stock to own here at 101. I'm definitely something I'm definitely considering here. You know, I've heard that their ticket volume has been down on their service side, but this is a little bull flag that's forming here. I do think 110 will break. This is a stock that you can buy at these levels, is how I see it.
Two others I want to run past you. Nokia has been making some waves here recently. And then I got to end with Bitcoin, because Michael Saylor's is calling Bitcoin summer. So I feel like he's another guy that's pretty close to what could be going on. So we want to see that.
Yeah, Nokia. I've not played this stock since the meme runs in 2022, but definitely a lot of call flow that's been going on. I did see. Like, you know, a lot of people talking about their infrastructure with respect to AI on the edge. So one stock that can probably move towards 20 this year is Nokia. Any drops towards, like, you know, 14, 13s, I would probably buy Nokia.
Okay. And then either Bitcoin or MSTR would be
MSTR this week, they have a lot of gamma wall sitting at around 180. So there is some kind of news that might be going on that MSTR might get this week. I don't know yet, but right now, Bitcoin is getting slapped, man. That's one thing that's been like I've been very cautious about the market also. If this is a risk on asset, see, many people talk about Bitcoin as an inflation hedge and all that bullshit. Like I don't think it's an inflation hedge. It's a risk on asset, and if the risk on asset is not having liquidity to making all-time highs when the market is going, I just feel there's a little bit of like, you know, I'm not expecting Bitcoin to go all-time highs today, but then when the market is ripping like how it is right now, why is Bitcoin taking a breather like how it is?
Bitcoin usually is like 6 months in advance of the market too. I feel like
exactly, and that is where I'm a little bit more skeptical, and that skepticism also adds on when I see Nvidia. It's down 1%. I mean, you know, like, yeah, I agree with all these bottleneck names that are running, MU, Light, AOI, whatever that is, all these are running great. But then if there's no GPU chips that are being sold from Nvidia, those are immaterial in a sense, right? So, I mean, why is Nvidia going down? That's the big question that I have right now, and I'm being extra cautious around it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think we're getting close to the SpaceX IPO. Anytime there's been a huge IPO, liquidity gets sucked out of the market. So maybe, and that's in 2-3 weeks now. So people are maybe starting to make some of those moves. And then we got midterms coming up here, you know, in the fall. So yeah, I mean, there's always some catalyst, you know, down the road. And then we got any day could be a Trump tweet of some sort. They can say, I see Rivian. We hadn't talked about that for a while. That was a stock that you liked. You said I think shares of those.
Yeah, 5 years. You got to hold it for 5 years. I think once autonomy hits Rivian, that's where the real R2 and autonomy hits Rivian. That's where the real moves on Rivian will happen.
Yeah. Yeah, and back to the Bitcoin. My friend called me today. He's like, "Yo, what the fuck's going on with Bitcoin?" I'm like, "Oh, my bad. Like, I'm Satoshi. Let me go like change a few things here." No, but I guess I'm just a permeable long term. It's one of those things I'm never planning on selling. And always kind of when no one's paying attention to it, that's when it's good to accumulate usually. But I've heard both ways. I've heard it could have one more time that it goes down to like the 40K range. I've heard 200K, you know, so no one really knows. And there's no quarterly earnings. There's no like announcements typically. There was that rumor that they're talking about doing a Bitcoin reserve here. Trump was talking about recently. So maybe that's a catalyst. You know, Saylor makes claims every day. You know, he's buying Bitcoin every single day, but today was the first day he did say he's feeling a Bitcoin summer come about. So we'll see where that goes.
I mean, he knows something.
Yeah. Anything else? We could wrap it up. You got the birds behind you. It looks like a nice day, so I don't need to keep you. I've been going since 12:30 Eastern.
Yeah, I just have to turn on the mist here, and then it'll be good.
Yeah. So we will be back tomorrow. I think we got Halston hopping in for at 12:30. I'll post it on the Twitter. Make sure to follow us at Daily Stack HQ on Twitter, and definitely follow at Problem Sniper. One of the best in the game, and I always thank you for your time. So appreciate it. Hopefully we'll be back next Tuesday, and I'll see you then, man.
Yeah, thanks, man. Bye.
We pop 'em like overridden vodka. C3, okay, a millionaire.